Hello everyone and welcome back to the Cedi Investor. In today's episode, we are talking about MTN Ghana. This company is the largest in my Cedi fund portfolio, and if you look at their recent price, you can see that the price is trading at 3.93 Ghana cedis, and over the past week or past 2 weeks, it has appreciated from 3.03 Ghana cedis to 3.93 Ghana cedi. A massive appreciation in its share price, and I think investors should be very excited. Investors should be very happy with this. MTN has been a company that since the start of the year, it has really been, I will say, stable. There's been a lot of doubts about the performance of the company, and a lot of people have been bearish on this company. This company, time and time again, it has proven to every investor that it will continue to grow and grow and grow. And I think if you're a shareholder of this company, you should be very excited. They just released their Q2 report, so we are going to go over it and you will see their performance, how the company is currently performing. I'll also show you the Cedi fund portfolio. I think it's been a while since I showed you guys how the Cedi fund portfolio is looking like at the moment. So I'll take you guys through it, see how we are performing. Are we doing well or not? And at the end of the video, I'll give you my thoughts, my overall thoughts on MTN, what I think about the company, my thoughts on the future of the company, and what I'm planning to do in terms of, am I going to buy more shares? Am I selling my shares? Am I holding on to my shares? Let me know. If you're interested in this type of video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like the video as well and share to your friends. I'll really appreciate that. Let's get into the video. So starting off with the Cedi fund portfolio, you can see that we are currently up 15.22% since the start of the year. Like, that's just crazy to me, because I started this portfolio in June. I started it at, I think, the beginning of June. So we are almost at 2 months since I started this portfolio, and we are already up 15%. To give you guys a little bit of context, I think normally last year, if you were to invest into treasury bills, you would get between maybe say 30 to 25% per annum. So that's like, if you invest in the beginning of the year, at the end of the year you expect to get 30% or 25%, and I've done about 15% in less than 2 months. So that's just amazing to see. Now obviously this is money that is not getting into my bank account. Like I always say, you should be very cautious about how excited you get when prices go up, because until you sell those particular companies, you're not going to lock in that particular gain or loss. It's called unrealized gain or loss, because you have not sold yet. I hope that makes sense. So if you take each position, we can see that my biggest company in the Cedi fund portfolio is MTN. It's now trading at 3.92, so way less compared to my average purchase price of about 3.1, which should be way less. I bought majority of the shares around 2.8, so it should be less, but we'll just take it like that. So I'm up about 26%. We have Enterprise, which is the only company that's actually not in profit yet, down 0.18. I bought majority of the shares at 2.86, and it's now trading at 2.85. And we have Farm Milk 4.4, also up 7%. So all in all, we are looking quite good. And also remember, the plan is always to outperform the Ghana market and to always outperform any interesting benchmark. So like maybe treasury bills, high performing mutual funds, any other thing. That's my plan. So it looks quite good. So we have here the performance for the past 6 months, and so far MTN has been able to increase its mobile subscribers by 6.5%, active data subscribers by 11% to 18.2 million, and active mobile money users from 7.4%, they've been able to increase it by 7.4% to 17.7. So it goes to show that almost every active data subscriber is also an active mobile user. So that's very great. It's all going hand in hand. If data subscribers are increasing, mobile money subscribers also tend to increase, and the whole core of the business is growing as a whole. So it is very good to see. So when we go over the key financial highlights, Here we have the half year performance, and we have the Q2 2024 and 2025 performance as well. I'm going to be talking more on the half year performance. So if you are interested in going over the quarterly performance, you can download the statement and also go through as well. I'll probably leave it in the comments down below. If I'm able to, I'll do that. So we can see that total revenue went up by 8 billion Ghana cedis to 11 billion. That's about 39%. We have the service revenue broken down here. The biggest revenue source and the core business of MTN, that is data, went from 3.9 to 5.9, almost more than 50%. From 3.9 to 5.9. Voice went up slightly, 1.7 to 1.9, and digital went from 100 to about 290. Mobile money also went about 46%, from 1.9 to 2.8. And I think this is just wonderful to see. The core business of MTN, the top line, everything is growing, and it's not growing by slight margin. It's growing massively. Data 50%, voice slightly 12%, digital 87%, mobile money 46%. We have total costs going up about 32%, but compared to how fast their revenue is growing, this is just something small, like it's just slight. And I'll even talk more about this in the notes of MTN. I think they'll be able to get this total cost way down, and that would help improve the margins of MTN. Already MTN is doing amazing margins. I think they are doing about 80% gross profit margin, about 50 to 45 to 50% as operating margin, and about 30% as profit margin. And they consistently done this for so many years. So like it's no a fluke, like it's consistently being done by them. 30% as profit margin, like that's just crazy amount for a company to be doing, especially in Ghana. And I really think they will be able to even improve on that as well. So I know it's like I'm getting excited, and yeah, if you're a shareholder of MT, I think you should be very, very excited, especially seeing how the company continues to grow its revenue. It's just amazing to see. Now let's go in depth into each revenue source. I really want to break it down as easy as possible for you guys to understand the revenue sources of MTN. So we have data, and they said data increased revenue by 50% year on year to 6 billion. This growth was primarily driven or attributed to 11% year on year increase in the number of active subscribers, along with a continuous strong rise in usage. This positive trend was supported by offering better value propositions and serving latent demand. Our investment in network expansion projects and our core focus on enhancing customer experience has been vital in promoting overall data growth. Data consumption per active user per month increased by 40.6% year on year, reaching an average of 14 billion. So they said an active user of MTN on average uses about 14 gigabytes of data. Is that per month? Let me see. Per month, yeah. Active user every single month uses an average of 14 gigabytes of data. And remember, I think this figure can go higher. Why? Because MTN reduced its data plan in, was it 1st of July? Yeah, because of the Minister of Communication, Sam George. He had communications with MTN and other telco services to reduce their data plan. And I think that in itself is going to be a very great thing for MTN, because I think it's first of all going to increase the number of active subscribers way more than it is right now. And I think more people are going to be using more data under the pretense of it's cheaper now. I could see this active data plan of 14 gig going up to like 15, 16, and even 20 gig. So the core telecommunications revenue of MTN, I think, is going to continue growing, and I'm very, very happy for that. When it comes to the voice revenue, they said it continued a trend, increasing by 12.6% to 2 billion. However, usage, that's minutes of use, in the period under review declined by 1.2% year on year due to a shift from traditional calls to voice over internet protocol services. The contribution of voice revenue to total service revenue decreased to 17.3% from 21.5% in the previous year. So we can see that voice revenue is going up slightly, which is a good thing, but then its contribution to MTN's total revenue is actually going down. And that is because people are shifting from traditional calls to voice over internet protocol. So like things like WhatsApp calls, Zoom calls, FaceTime, those things that use data instead of actual airtime to be calling people. Hopefully you guys hear that. And honestly, this is not really even scary for me, because I think in itself is also going to drive the growth of data. I don't know if that makes sense, because now people are using things like WhatsApp, FaceTime, whatever to make calls. The demand for data is going to be increasing rather than the voice. So if that revenue source is being shifted towards data, I have no problem with that. So I think it's also okay. Data revenue grew by 67%, and this is attributable to a 21.9% rise in active digital subscribers to 5.7 million, and increased engagement from our user bases with our video streaming and gaming services. Now, I would be very honest, out of all of MTN's revenue sources, digital is the one that I'm not really knowledgeable about. I think I have to do more research on it. But from what I can see from the data, digital is just a slight portion of MTN's revenue. This is something they are just trying to grow. And I think one of the services on the digital part of MTN's revenue is an app called Ayuba. And I think it's like a free app for MTN subscribers where you get to play games, music, and a whole lot of things. I have never used the app to be honest. I've never used it before, so honestly I don't really know anything about the digital part of MTN's business. Hopefully, if you guys have any idea about it, I would love to know. You can comment it down below, or you can even send me a message. I would love to know about that part of the business and how exciting it is. Like, do you guys see growth potential in that part of the business? Is it something that in the next 5 to 10 years could massively improve upon MTN's revenue? I would love to know. And the last revenue source, we have mobile money. It increased by 46.4% to 2.8 billion Ghana cedis. This growth was supported by a 7.4% rise in monthly active users to 17.7 billion. The growth in basic revenue was mainly driven by a 35% increase in withdrawal fees and 40% rise in revenue from transfers. So basically, people are doing more withdrawals and are transferring more money to people. And this I can attribute to e-levy being removed. I see that as a blessing for mobile money. Before the removal of the e-levy, people were finding all sorts of ways to transfer money. Some people were trying to avoid the whole mobile money operations in itself, and I think now that the e-levy has been scrapped, is good news for mobile money. You can see people, and the way mobile money has even been structured is, I feel like they've positioned themselves in like this gray area that's so great for them, that it's not a bank and it does not come with all the restrictions and the regulations of a bank, even though BOG regulates mobile money. But it's also great enough that it can stand on its own without necessarily being a bank. I don't know if you know what it means. It's very convenient. People use it for all sorts of things, to pay school fees, to pay their rent. I remember when I was in university, there was this Gobe woman that I love to buy Gobe from her, and I never paid with physical cash, always with mobile money. And it's just good to see that these old people who back in the days would never accept anything apart from physical cash are now so comfortable, like taking mobile money from anywhere. I think even some people, some church drivers even accept mobile money. It's not a lot, but it just shows how convenient the service is, and I'm so bullish on it. As to which one has the highest growth potential, for now, in the long term, I'll probably say mobile money, but in the short term, I'll say the data. That's we have total cost, which recorded a 32% year-on-year increase during the period, reaching 4.7 billion. This growth was driven by relatively high inflation and Cedi depreciation affecting operational expenses, especially in the first quarter of the year. And I like the fact that they said this, because now inflation has reduced massively and the Cedi has also appreciated. It's now stable around 10.5 Ghana cedis. So I believe that over the subsequent quarters, we can see total costs going at a slower rate, or even just stabilizing at the same rate. I really would love to see that, and I think if they're able to do that, MTN will be able to improve its margin. It's already great margins. They'll be able to improve upon it. So I'm very, very happy to be seeing this. The macroeconomic outlook for the rest of 2025 is expected to remain relatively stable. MTN Ghana will continue to monitor the macroeconomic environment and take proactive measures to achieve operational excellence. These efforts will help safeguard profit margins and drive consistent growth in the bottom line over the medium to long term. As a result, we are targeting a medium-term guidance of mid to upper 30% for its service revenue growth. We also anticipate margins to be in the mid to 50%. And I'm going to take it a step further. I think guidance on its service revenue is going to be 40%. I think they are going to do plus 40%. For the margins, I think it will be around the 50, maybe high 50. So I think I probably agree with that side. But I'm going to take it a step further and say 40% for its service revenue. So overall, I'm very, very bullish on MTN. I think it's one of the greatest investments on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Now, as for the pricing, I'm going to agree with you. There are better times you could have bought MTN. But then, like I said in my previous video, sometimes we shouldn't be anchored towards the price. You should be anchored towards the performance and align that to the pricing. Right now, if you are buying MTN, definitely you are buying an expensive buy, especially after it increased to 3.93. But if you're a long-term investor, honestly, I wouldn't mind buying way more of MTN at this current price. But because I believe the way they're going to continue growing, this price for a long-term investor is going to be great. But as for me, I'm going to continue holding on to my shares. I'm not selling any particular share, and if there's any marginal decline in the share price, I'm going to buy way more of that. Especially if MTN share price gets below 3 cedis again, I'm going to be buying heavily. So that's the end of this particular episode. Let me know what your thoughts are on MTN's share price, the performance, the earnings reports, everything. What are your thoughts on MTN? What do you think? Are you buying way more of it? Are you selling it? Do you plan on holding your shares? I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching, and comment down below your favorite stock on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Peace.